December 2nd. The winter continues to get colder. Colder than expected. The workshop keeps me pretty warm though. One more lantern to keep the drifters at bay. The bees have gone into hibernation for the winter. Bear and Beth's piglets have grown up. Drifters still continue to haunt me. Today, I automate the quern using the power of wind. One issue with windmills is that there isn't a way to run an axle through an airtight wall. I can attach it onto the fort, but to keep the warmth in, I'll need to keep the quern behind the door. I'll also need to do a lot of woodcraft. For wooden mechanisms, I'll be using up a lot of fat and resin. These are my grease and glue for making this work. A lot of hammer and chisel work, as well as the occasional sawing. Not sure if the wind is just too soft, or if this just isn't big enough to catch the wind. Oh, there it goes. It will work when the wind blows. I can make the windmill larger when I have more linen, but for now, this will do. I have lots of stuff that I need milled, including my grains, my salt, and bones for fertilizer. This automation is hugely helpful, as basic as this one is. I have plans for a big mechanical project in the future, so I'll need a lot of resin and fat. It hasn't done any grinding, so I'll increase the height a bit. More height means more wooden axles, and each axle adds additional resistance to the mechanism. So there's a balance that you need to try and achieve. For the rest of the night, it was mining time. I started to find evidence of copper and iron. But ultimately, that night, I didn't find the ore. I think I can hear the quern working. If that's the case, I'll start to get some grains ground up. Let's ground up that salt fast. This is going to save me a lot of time, and I'll soon be able to make lots of bread. It was a bit warmer in the Chert Desert for now. I was heading back to get the lead that I missed. I'd maybe get the copper too. Nice. Bountiful amounts of lead. Lead obtained, I could try tunnelling west to find the copper vein. Found it. Time to head home. This was a very good amount of lead. I can use this to make nicer windows. Tonight, I'm going to mix my grain with water and I'm going to make heaps of bread. I hadn't forgotten about the leather. It was slowly getting done. Compost was ready too. Might add a terra preta to the greenhouse. I decided to move the terra preta from here, but sadly it disintegrates. Turns out tilted soil cannot be picked up. To make more, I'll need to get some charcoal. I had plenty of bread to feed me on exploration, so today I was going to search east. Seems there's deer out east. I also found another trader. Their name was Trader, and they traded furniture. Jesus. I was now a bit wounded and far from home, but I continued. There was less snow here. After the forest was a shale desert of blackness. At this point, I started shivering from the cold. Body temperature was 34. It was time to go home. Lead. As for another day. I was cold, but I very much needed the meat and especially the fat. I was literally freezing to death. But I continued to be greedy. Almost home now. My body temperature was critical, but I was warming up. I had lots of meat and I decided to preserve it in some salt. For red meat, this actually increases the nutrition. Once I was warm, it was back down the mines for me. I locked in on that trace of hematite, which is iron. There was just one poor quality chunk by itself. Aye, pretty disappointing. After a bunch of searching, I eventually found the copper as well, which was a bit better. Day 69, I managed to hunt a moose. I also collected some more quartz and silver from the west mine. The lake was almost entirely frozen now. I need one more medium hide and then I can borax soak these medium hides. There's a good amount of silver, enough for a plate I think. I was just about to collect more charcoal when a temporal storm came from nowhere. My old dragon friend was back. Day 70. I decided to stay home today due to the strange storm weather outside. Silver can increase the light output of a lantern by a little, but I actually need lanterns in general more than I need brighter ones. Looks pretty good. I'll give him the old serpentine method. That was a bit weird. There was still plenty of daylight, so I decided to check out a suspected meteor site. Solvite is a type of stone found from meteors, and it's likely that I can find meteoric iron in the solvite. The issue is that I'll need an iron pickaxe or better to actually mine the meteoric iron, but for now I can confirm whether it's there or not. There was indeed meteoric iron in the solvite rock. Very pure stuff. I'll keep a note that it's here, but I'll need to find iron first. A lot of iron too, as I need an anvil or better to smith such a strong and pure metal as meteoric iron. Chicken for dinner, it seems. I have 8 gold nuggets. Ratio-wise, that's enough for 5 black bronze ingots. Black bronze is the strongest and most durable bronze, and I do want stronger spears. Spears can be poured, but they are quite easy to smith. Maybe a good shovel is a worthwhile investment too. You can't make spears with iron, meteoric iron, or with steel, so black bronze is generally going to be the strongest spear that I can make. And I prefer the range that the spears have at keeping things at distance. The leather's coming along. Yeah, with that I can have more clay casts stored. Today I need to get more wood for making charcoal, at the same time dealing with an increasing amount of wolves. crap meat, but a good source of fat for my mechanisms. This gives me enough medium heights to make another full barrel of leather. I'll get the 12 soaking in some borax solution just now, or when the quern grinds it. For this last one, I'll make a black bronze saw, as it should last a little bit longer. Seems like a good spear, hoping this makes hunting easier too. The night was young, and it was back to the mines for me. I head back to the salt deposit. I want to dig a little bit deeper and try and find sylvite, which can permanently enhance my growing soil. Sylvite. That's exactly what I'm looking for. That can be cooked into potash. That's probably enough for today. I could check out this cave for a second, I suppose. Seems alright. I could maybe do a bit of surveying. Oh! I'm not going to follow him. I'm getting lanterns. I'm out of here. Perhaps one day I'll cleanse this cave, but not today. Still waiting on my borax. But looks like I have some leather that's ready. I can make a leather backpack. There we go, more leather being processed. There we go, got some potash. Magical stuff. So this potash is changing these medium fertility soils to high fertility soils permanently. This new bronze axe makes tree felling a lot easier. Spear seems pretty good. Tonight was back to the mines, but tonight was going to be different. Being underground for so long was a mental strain, and it could induce rift activity. I had dug my own maze, and it suddenly dawned on me that I didn't know how to get out. Where am I going? Phew, this looks like the right way. Actually, I thought I was going to lose the plot down there. I now had huge amounts of iron. Iron cannot be melted into a liquid. It has to be heated into a very hot bloomery, and then the imperfections need to be removed with hammering. This amount of iron deserves its own chest. $120 nuggets will produce 6 iron blooms, and once cleaned with a hammer, I'll get 6 ingots. Same ratio as other metals, just a lot more physical work involved. While that cooks, I'll begin work on a bronze shield. Handy for when I'm doing some serious fighting. Iron is going to require a lot of charcoal and fire clay. So, all 6 of these need cleaning. The workshop was going to be running hot tonight. I'd get faster at this with practice, and I'd surely be getting plenty of practice. There we go. 6 iron ingots ready to be made into something. Oh, hello, friend. Only one way to deal with this. Uninvited guests coming on my land. Now, I thought this was sealed, as it looked sealed to me, but we'll see later. Well, we'll just see. How did it get in here? To make an iron anvil, I'll need 9 or 10 iron ingots. The iron anvil allows me to work with meteoric iron, so it's worth making. The iron anvil must be made in two parts, the base and the top. I also need to use powdered borax to merge them together. This is going to be one long night. I'm just shy of enough iron to finish this. I'll need to clean more iron blooms to have more iron to finish it. If that wasn't enough trouble, my last hammer breaks on me. Ah, fuck. Goddamn. I go to collect more charcoal from my freshly made batch, and I'm met with an empty hole in the ground. Oh, what? It must have burned up. Air must have got in and let the whole thing burn. The powers that be clearly don't want me getting this anvil today. Right, almost got it full again. What the? I think this anvil's cursed or something. I do some garden therapy to help me calm down. The anvil will get done, but tonight I need a relaxing holiday down in the mines of hell. I need to think about giving myself some signs to help me get out of here if I get lost. Unfortunately, I quickly get lost. Oh, there it is. Yep, time to go when I start having psychosis. I'm not even sure what happens if I let my psychosis get worse, but I'm not going to find out. Let's hope that I actually get my charcoal this time. All my smithing is basically waiting on this. I now have 3 leather backpacks, which gives me quite a bit more carrying capacity. It was January 4th and I had a chill day of searching the woods, looking for resin. I decided to start marking on the map pine trees that gave me resin, as I was going to need a lot of resin very soon. I caught a couple of boar and I collected a bunch of grass. I was going to start work on a new room which would house an automatic helve hammer. Above the room would be a large windmill for powering the hammer. This would be a big project and it would take some time. But before all that, I had charcoal to check. Thankfully, the batch was okay, and once again, I could begin to smith. I decided to take a distance stroll today, as the nights are the best time to smith. I was finding resin along the way as a little side mission. Nice. Copper. I tried to collect some copper, but without any warning, a temporal storm ruined my day. I was very far from home, but I had to keep moving. There was nowhere to hide. I was almost home, but I couldn't quite see my home because of the storm. Wait, there it is, there's the fence. I was home, but I was also starving. Eventually, it passed. Time to get back to work. The progress on the helve hammer room is ongoing, and I have the cursed iron anvil of destiny to complete. It's so beautiful, and yet so cursed. It was time to make an iron pickaxe. I'd also make an iron axe for faster tree felling. It's a nice looking axe. I'll need to get some lanterns in there. I made an early start on getting the meteoric iron. Tough to break, but the iron pick can get the job done eventually. I also mined out a fair bit of the sovite, as there can be diamonds within it. And I did indeed find a diamond, just a low quality one. For the windmill I'm going to make, I'm planning to use a tan daub. It uses granite, sand and fire clay. Probably need to make this room quite a bit bigger. I try sovite cobble as an interior wall. Looks pretty good. I'm also going to improve the windows using lead. I could have done this some time ago. It's really just an aesthetic thing, but I like to make my home look good. The nice thing about meteoric iron is that you don't need to clean it. It will come out directly in an ingot, as it's such a pure form of iron. January 8th, I found some additional fire clay, which was helpful as my old source was almost fully depleted. I also collected grass for construction materials like daub. Meteoric iron. Looks pretty good. I spent the night extending the tunnel. I also learned that stone path slabs are much better than cobble, cheaper to make, and they increase movement speed a lot more. Looks pretty nice. Improvement, I would say. So this is some dab, or daub. Gonna need more wood and more sticks. I decided to make a couple of pickaxes with the meteoric iron. These are just highly durable pickaxes, similar to iron. Meteoric iron is quite rare, so I'll be saving the rest of it for something special. I'll try to keep these pickaxes for a time when I need them, but I'll give them a quick test in the mines. Cuts through chert like butter. Yeah, this makes travel a lot faster. So this is where the windmill will go, or this is the hole the wooden axle will travel down. Okay, I have 21 resin and 18 fat. I should begin to plan out all the parts that I will need. 1. A helve hammer base. 2. Large gears, which require 4 large gear sections, each requiring 2 resin each. I also need 2 large gears, so that's 8 sections times 2, costing me 16 resin already. These are expensive. 3. I'll need a wooden toggle to power the hammer too. That's 4 resin and 1 fat. 4. I'll need a dozen or so axles, and they each need fat. It doesn't take long before I'm running out of resin and I'm running low on fat. This room needs to be bigger. All this work has earned me a meat pie. Good travel food. The day is made for exploring, so I'll come back to the build work later. I knew I needed resin, but seems I need more than I ever expected. I'll probably need fat soon too. Bit sketchy to go chasing them in the forest, to be honest. Is that him? Or is that a different one? This bear is confusing me. Like, what is going on? I feel like he's trying to bait me into the forest. Some sort of trap. A bear trap, perhaps. Whatever his plan was, it has failed now. Another one. That's maybe a black bear this time. Oh, jeez. Maybe it's time to go home for today. No more wrestling bears and wolves for today. My health is not great. For flooring the helve hammer room, I decide I want to do fanned claystone cobble. I'll need to head east and collect some claystone. I need more lanterns and I want an iron hammer, which should last a little bit longer. I accidentally misclick and I end up with an iron hole. Lastly, an iron saw, built to last, I would hope, as the mechanical stuff wears down the saws a lot. I don't waste any time in the morning, so I head out very early. First I go see Santa in the north to be able to buy thread from him to repair my commoner clothing. Then I mine some copper. I end up mining a bunch of olivine at the same time, something I will need in the future for heat resistance bricks. To crush olivine will require me to finish the workshop and build a pulverizer. I now have 4 leather backpacks and some spare leather. It's now February, so I'll begin to plant more seeds in the greenhouse. Some of the flax is almost ready for harvest. Flax is key in being able to build windmills, which then powers my automation. I need claystone for my floor. The night is calm, so I'm doing it now. And there is claystone. I dig up a bunch of the claystone and at the same time I manage to locate some copper. What the hell? These wolves are getting out of hand. I'll build the flooring tonight, but for the rest of the day I'll look for resin in the surrounding forests. More wolves. They're in packs now. I find a huge oak tree. Could build a small base in that thing. Right, it's time for the job that I've been putting off. I'm going to need space for fire pit kilns here and probably some other storage. For now it's just one of these messy storage that you just throw everything into. These wolves are crazy in the winter. A good source of fat and hides though. That is a big pine tree. Wattle and daub is what my windmill will be made from. Mud brick foundation to be aesthetically connected to my home. So the daub can be applied in layers. You can do 3 layers. The third is an actual clean layer. I have a lot of gamey wolf meat. I'm starting to get flax now. If I can afford it, I'm also going to want a clutch and a transmission. This will make sense when I put it all together. I think I've got the majority of the mechanical parts I want. Now I just need to finish the room, really. Really like this fanned cobble floor. I really don't like these spider things. I especially don't like them annoying my chicken. I'm not gonna wait for that wolf to jump scare me. Too fat? That's very generous of you. Should probably use this bow more often. If I apply extra daub, I can give this a cleaner look, which I will do. The height looks pretty good. If it's too tall, the axles will have a lot of resistance, but I could maybe make it a little bit taller. I've designed this with the option to be able to continually upgrade it. At full capacity, it can be powered by 4 double-length windmills. Now I just need to make myself a hammer. A helve hammer. I'll go straight to an iron helve hammer. Any metal will do, but I have lots of iron to spare. I'll also make iron arrows for dealing with my various visitors. Making 9 arrowheads from 1 ingot is a bit of a tricky one. Time consuming and hard work, but that's it done. There we go. I decided to make the walls from rammed earth. It's cheap to make and it actually looks really good. I think I've just found another load of meat and fat. If I can just get all of them. Once again, while far from home, a temporal storm came from nowhere. Oh no, not again. Not sure I should be running towards that thing. Oh, that thing hit hard. thankfully that's over. I still hear something though. I decided to spend some time in the greenhouse that night. Prior to the storm, it was a really good haul for meat, fat and resin. I should probably invest in better armour one of these days. I could now make a sail for the new windmill. I bought this thread a while ago and I forgot to use it. You just click on your clothing and it'll repair it. With a rift on my doorstep, it's a day for collecting sticks and resin. More flax equals more windmill power. I want a transmission and a clutch, and I might as well pay for them now. The transmission and the clutch allow me to connect and disconnect the helve hammer from the mechanism. You can already see the helve hammer causes too much resistance in the mechanism. I can increase the power by building more windmills or larger windmills, and when the wind is stronger, the helve hammer should probably work. The clutch in the transmission allows me to basically turn off the helve hammer when I'm not using it, so I can direct the power to a different mechanism, like a pulverizer. Right now we're not producing enough wind power to power the helve hammer. I probably do need more windmills. May as well help the plants get more water, as the ice is starting to melt slowly but surely. March 1st and day 91. I head back to look for a trader that was stuck in some bushes. It won't allow me to break the bushes, but I came equipped with a plan. I'll turn on creative mode and remove them. It turned out the wagon was the home to the treasure hunter, so it was a good idea that I did this. I should bring Timaf here a bronze pickaxe at some point. I'll make plenty tin bronze tools to sell to Timaf. He'll also tell me about a secret location in exchange for giving him a bronze pickaxe. Need more sails and the flax grows slowly. There we go. Found the perfect home for my other brass torch holder. That's the tools ready for Timma. I begin throwing down some potash to the outdoor farm. I throw down some bone meal as well, just to enhance the fertilizer overall. I don't really want to leave that bear circling my home. The snow slows my movement and I'm a fish out of water without my water to outmaneuver him. I guess I'm using the bow. Some iron arrows I prepared earlier. Looks like there's actually two of them. Kinda want to grab my stuff mainly, get my bags. I should probably not make the same mistake I made last time. $17 meat? That's a lot. Need to try and gather my arrows. I have a completely silly amount of bush meat. It can't be cooked in a recipe and it takes a lot of wood to cook. Might as well cure 32 of it. I've decided to build my cellar here, closer to the cooking stove. I also need more lanterns and more arrows too. The new cellar looks really nice, conveniently located now too. For whatever reason, the longevity of my food is better here too. I might just have enough flax for another sail now. Nice. Still not enough torque. I head out to collect resin and mine some extra copper. The ice is beginning to melt. I might want to think about bridges in the near future, just to be able to travel around faster. Thought I could hear something. It works. I'll help speed up a bit, but this is a big help to my production. As well as cleaning iron blooms, it can also make metal plates. Making lanterns just became much easier to manufacture. We're now on day 95, and we're approaching the 1 year mark, which will be 180 days of survival in Vintage Story. This was a bit of a long episode, and I plan to make the next one shorter. As always, thanks for joining me, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.